I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem HaRakakwadash. Double honors unto our apostle elders which rule Great Millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Wa ba ba ba. All right, through my studies, I wanted to share how the Lord is more righteous than the wicked that are ruling. All right, the wicked are the so-called white race, the red devil the Bible speaks of. All right, which you can see this man here. He's the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. And you can see in this image, his skin is not white. It don't blend in with his white collar. His skin is a shade of red because they are the Edomites. The so-called Caucasians that rule the world today are the wicked. All right, and their biblical names is Esau, their forefather, and they are, as a nation, Edom. All right, the Edomites, the wicked that rule the world, and that's why the world is in its wicked state that it's in. All right, so this is an article from Eurasia Review, News and Analysts, all right, which it says right here, quote, kill everybody, war crimes, and Pete Hegseth's lust for blood, op-ed, all right, which this was published December 5th, 2025, which they show him giving direct orders to kill everybody, which is a war crime, all right? It says, Pete Hegseth, the soap opera-styled U.S. Secretary of Defense, which he was working for Fox before, sports a questionable sanity. His behavior, it says his behavior before generals is the stuff of low comedy. His mania about sending narco-traffickers making passage on the sea from Venezuela to a watery grave has a million, it says a million Aryan. Let's see if I could get that read out loud. Millenarian zeal. Define. It says relating to or believing in Christian millenarianism, a person who believes in the doctrine of the millennium, a period of 1,000 years, especially when calculated from the traditional date of the birth of Hamashiach. All right, so he claims to be a Christian. All right, but then he has this attitude of killing everyone. You see, which the scriptures say these heathen are counterfeit and that they are hypocrite. All right, it says, but psychological coarseness and imperfection have not prevented questions being asked about why he allegedly ordered to strike a vessel twice in order to ensure the death of all aboard it, right? So that's the question, was it murder? All right. And they're still going through the talks, because you could put it up in the Google search, and it'll pull it up for you, right? New York Times, Hegseth ordered a lethal attack, but not the killing of survivors. Admiral testified Pete Hegseth did not kill them all order, which they just changed the story, right? It says, Admiral testified Hegseth did not kill them all order, U.S. lawmakers say. It says, a U.S. Navy admiral testified that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth did not give the order to kill them all. during a controversial second U.S. military strike on the alleged drug boat in the Caribbean, multiple lawmakers have said. It says, let's see, the White House has said Admiral Bradley was responsible for the strikes and then he acted within the law. So they're able to just kill everybody. All right. Remember, they destroyed everybody. Even if they try to change who gave the order, all right, it's lawful for them pretty much to kill everybody. All right. And really, who gave them the ability was the Lord. He gave him the sword and he gave him a great sword. All right. And it tells you that these devils are able to call fire down from heaven, which is their missile system. Revelation 13, it says in 13, and he doth great wonders so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, which is their missile system. All right, so this is the red devil the Bible speaks of. All right, and they don't operate like a charitable Christian they claim to be. And once again, you can see this man's suit is red, and I'm sorry, white, and he is red. All right, showing that color Edom, red, the red man, is the so-called white man, the red devil the Bible speaks of, which he deceived the whole world. All right, he has turned himself into an angel of light, but in fact, he is literally in the flesh Satan. All right, he's the devil. All right, and they have the right to put the majority of these people to death, and this is why they have the missile system to destroy many, which I brought it out before. America drops, they say about up in the 40s a missile, 40 missiles a day. All right, and no one else compares to that. America and its allies drop over 40 missiles a day. All right, killing everybody in areas that they don't know who's there, what's going on. They claim to, but it shows that they don't because the story keeps changing, right? And Daniel showed you that in the book of Susanna, where when these people's story changed, they're liars. All right, so the Edomite, the wicked that rule the world through America, all right, they're murderers. All right, it says Jonah chapter 4, verse 11, and this is the Lord rebuking Jonah. And should not I spare Nineveh, that great city wherein are more than 60,000 persons, which it's over 100,000, that can't discern between their right hand and their left hand, and also much cattle? But these are Israelites. They don't know right from wrong. And that's why the Lord didn't destroy the city of Nineveh. All right, because remember what he told Abraham. So right here, when the Lord's telling him that he's going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah and the other cities, Abraham was praying for Lot pretty much. It says in Genesis 18 verse 23, and Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein, that be far from thee, to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked that be far from thee? Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? See, so it's wrong for someone to destroy the wicked with the righteous. This is why Lot, he was guided out of the cities by angels before the Lord destroyed those cities. All right. This is why the Lord sends prophets. All right. Before he destroys the city. All right. It says in verse 26, but see, Esau don't. Esau freaking destroy everything. Look what he's done in these different locations where there's been war. They'll go in there and they'll slaughter men, women, children, the righteous and with the wicked. It says, and Yahweh said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare then I will spare all the place for their sakes, which the righteous are the Israelites. All right. Now, that's why the Lord's being so long suffering for the Israelites here in Babylon the Great, aka America, because he don't want none of the righteous to perish. So he's given all the Israelites here in Babylon enough time to repent that are going to be saved, and the ones that refuse to repent, they're going to be destroyed in their unfaithfulness. It says, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes. I won't bring the judgment for those 50 righteous. Now I'm going to jump down because they go back and forth with the numbers. It says here in verse 32, and he said, oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet but this once. Peradventure, which means per danger, 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. Right? So pretty much for one man, because he didn't destroy it until Lot, that one righteous man, escaped. It says, and Yahweh went his way as soon as he had left, communing with Abraham, and Abraham returned unto his place. All right. So it's a wicked thing to destroy the righteous with the wicked. And these wicked men that rule the world, they don't have discernment, right? They just pretty much coming down with great wrath, knowing that they have but a short time. So they're going to find themselves fighting against the Lord because they're going to fight against his anointed, which is Psalm 2. All right. It says in verse 1, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast their cords away from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Their shame is going to be revealed. They're going to get the judgment that the Lord has prescribed for the wicked. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king Yahushai upon my holy hill of Zion. Revelation 14 verse 1. This is verse 7. I will declare the decree. Yahweh has said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Which this is the promise he made to King David's son, King Solomon, which is Yahushai. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve Yahweh with fear and rejoice with trembling. So that's reverence. Kiss the Son, acknowledge Yahushua in the scriptures, lest he be angry and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Now I want to look up the definition of that word wrath. All right. Let me see. His wrath. And it says anger, long suffering, right? It says the nose or nostrils, hence the face, and occasionally a person also from the rapid breathing in passion, which the Lord's going to breathe fire upon these people, first as prophecy, then sending his son Yahweh Shai, which Yahweh Shai is going to bring forth that commandment where America is going to be turned into a lake of fire because it's wicked. All right, it's a smoke in the Lord's nose, and it has the reprobates here, these 2/3 that reject the truth and believe in a lie. And literally it says, let me see, I'll pull it up. Smoke in my nose, KJV. Isaiah 65:15. Isaiah 65:15. Isaiah 65:15. It says, verse 14, behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for the Lord Yahweh shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name, that he who blesseth himself in the earth shall bless himself in the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which is of the truth, and he that sweareth in the earth shall swear by the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hid from mine eyes, which he creates a new heaven and a new earth. I'm going to go to the NLT for that verse. It says, all who invoke a blessing or take an oath will do so by the God of truth, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. For I will put aside my anger and forget the evil of earlier days, which the Lord's done because of Yahweh Shai. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth. The new heavens is us ruling, and the new earth is the heathen as our slaves, which they forfeit the throne through their wicked decrees, which bring forth injury. It says, and the former shall not be remembered. The wicked are going to be made extinct, nor come into mind because of that extinction. So this is the future prophecy. The Lord is just, and he's going to avenge his elect, and he's going to punish the wicked and put the heathen as slaves under us, the Israelites. And we're going to have them for 1,000 years. It says in verse 18, but be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem, which are the Israelites, a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying, which the so-called Caucasians, the red devil the Bible speaks of, they have made decrees that they're going to slaughter the Israelite. They have a plan to try to slaughter the Israelite. So the Lord ain't going to allow us to dwell in Egypt no more. All right? He's going to destroy Egypt and bring us back into our promised land. 2nd Ezra 15:10. Behold, my people, the Israelites, is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. The so-called white man is intending to slaughter the righteous with the wicked. But the Lord's not going to stand for that. He's going to send his righteous son back, Yahweh Shai, and he's going to save the elect. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, which he done to ancient Egypt. He's going to do to modern Egypt, which look at the back of the dollar bill, and will destroy all the land thereof. Nuclear destruction is going to be turned into a lake of fire, which the Lord's going to avenge his righteous elect that were actually sacrificed here for the oppression that we had to endure here. Remember, the land of America is saturated with the blood of the Israelites, and this is the reincarnation of Rome. What did Rome do in Jerusalem? So they have much to pay for it. These Edomites, these red devils the Bible speaks of. Shalom to the elect wa abab abal.